And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday Night Winestream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick, and tonight, well, we're going to try a Tempranillo from Spain. And this should be a pretty good wine because I'm going to pair it with some interesting foods tonight. Yes, my lovely wife, she has prepared a dish for us tonight, but I also have something a little bit extra, and we're going to pair it with wine, and we're going to pair it with some beer that I hope will be pretty good. It sounds pretty interesting, but that's what we're doing tonight. Okay, tonight, wow, if you're joining me for the first time or for the 217th time, because this is the 217th episode of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Wine Stream, this is a stream of consciousness kind of show. I do have my show notes, as always, and they're right here with me. But we don't always follow them verbatim. It's here's a guide, a general guide to get us through the show. The show is really an open chat show. That's the design of the show. Because the show isn't really about me. It's somewhat about the wine and the beer that we're going to have tonight, the other libations. This show is really about you and me getting together on a Saturday night with our favorite libations, our favorite snacks, whatever they are, just kicking back, relaxing, and having a good time, forgetting about the worries of the day. Now, you can watch live. If you want to watch live, let me show you where you can watch live. Our Facebook page is Drink with Rick, and you can watch live there on our Facebook page. You can watch the Saturday Night Wine Stream live on our YouTube channel is at Drink with Rick at youtube.com. Twitch is twitch.tv/drinkwithrick and the number one, Drink with Rick and the number one, all one word. And on Odyssey, Odyssey is Drink with Rick, the colon number 7. It's at Drink with Rick, colon and the number 7. So that's where you can find it. Now, also, of course, the podcast. The podcast goes out Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Blueberry.com, iHeartRadio, Deezer. Where else we have here? It's Amazon Music, podcastindex.org, and by email. If you click on that little blue button, it says by email. When you click on the subscribe page, put your email address in the box, and you'll get the latest episode of Drink with Rick as soon as it drops, and no salesman will call. Yes, I did skip Stitcher Radio. Stitcher Radio went down on the 29th. It's no longer available. I have to remove that button from the site. I will do that when I get an opportunity to do so. So you can also buy me a coffee if you want. If you want to support the show, you can like and subscribe and follow me in all these venues: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Odyssey. Oh, you can follow me on Twitter. I don't have it live there, but you can follow me on Twitter. Is Drink with Rick, at Drink with Rick. You can buy me a coffee that supports the show. It would be most helpful if you did, because that goes towards buying the prizes and things that we give away on the show. It doesn't really make me any money per se, but your support would greatly be appreciated by me. I really do appreciate it. So let's get going with the show tonight. I did kind of go through that pretty quick, didn't I? Usually it takes me 5 minutes or so just to get to that point, but I'm trying to keep the show moving along tonight. We've got a lot to cover, and I'm trying not to keep it too long tonight. So I want to get to bed at a decent hour, besides 3 in the morning, but maybe 2 if I can. But I want to say thank you for being here, everyone who's joining me live in the chat. Now, you can get in there in all the venues. I did forget to mention the website. The website's drinkwithrick.com. I don't have a live chat going there, but if you go ahead and click on the episode that is showing there live right now, drinkwithrick.com, you'll get a comment box. You type your comments in. I'll respond in kind, and I will get back to you on that, and I will read them on a future episode of the show. So, did I get everything covered now? Okay, I think so. All right. I want to welcome everybody into the chat, and also we have folks on Twitch. Beast on Gaming is in the chat on Twitch, and Beast on Gaming says, hello, Rick, and hello right back at you. It's great to see you here, by the way. Hope your week went well. Hope your weekend is going well, by the way. And Brew243 is in the chat. Brew says, cheers, Rick. I'm glad I'm able to catch the live this week. Well, I'm glad that you're here. I hope everything is going well with you and the family. By the way, I have a beer book reserved for you from last week, so send me your valid shipping address, and a PO box is fine. It's all right. To rick@savoymedia.com, and I'll get that book right out to you as soon as possible. But I want to get you one of those books. That's one of the new ones. And let's see what else we have going on here. Okay, we're good right now. I think I'm caught up for the moment. All right, let's get to the wine. Let's go to opening the wine, and wow. Okay, let me tell you what we have for a wine. We have the Tempranillo. We have a beer. This is a jalapeno beer that we're going to try tonight, and we're going to try this wine and this beer. Well, we're going to pair it with some ghost pepper chips. That's right. We're going to pair it with some ghost pepper chips. So this should be this should be very, very interesting. Yeah, it'll get everybody talking. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's show the beer off. The wine. Now I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? Let's show the wine off. What we've got here tonight is Javier San Pedro. Javier San Pedro. This is called, what's it called? Randez. And this is a Tempranillo. This is a 2020 Tempranillo. It's a Rioja, and this is a Spanish wine. Let me show you the back. I'm going to read the back to you. It says Javier San Pedro Randez. The San Pedro family owns more than 250 acres of prime vineyards around LaGuardia. And it says Tempranillo 2020. This Crianza 2020 has spent 12 months in new and semi-new American and French oak. A super fresh Tempranillo with intense cassis and cherry aromas, full-flavored and elegant. It will combine many styles of cooking and red meat dishes, or simply on its own. And that's signed by Javier San Pedro. It is produced and bottled by bodegas of Valobera and LaGuardia. This is a wine of Spain. It's imported by Ivaki Incorporated in San Luis Obispo, California. And it is 13.8% ABV in the 750 milliliter bottle of wine. So that is what this wine is all about. Now I'm going to show you the beer in just a little bit because this is a very interesting beer. I'm also going to show you the chips that we're going to pair it with. But first of all, we have a pairing that my lovely wife Chi did tonight. She has a very simple pairing because we have the chips here, but we have some looks like some burger there that Chi grilled on the grill tonight, and that should go pretty well with the Tempranillo. Tempranillos generally have a fair amount of tannin in it, so that should go well with that. We have some. This is the unexpected cheddar with parm. I think should be all right with that. And what do we have over here? Well, this is the presentation. Oh, on the other side, I almost forgot. The other side is puto. That's a Filipino kind of a Filipino sponge cake that is made from rice. It's a rice cake, and it's pretty good. We enjoy that. And what over here is this? This is the presentation for tonight. The food presentation. I don't have a front shot for you here, but I just have the overhead angle because I didn't have time to get one before the show started. And This one represents, I believe, a TV dinner and a cocktail. So that ties in with tonight's national days. The national days we're going to toast tonight. So that's what that's all about. So anyway, so Brew, I hope you're having a great weekend, I should say. I hope you're having a great week and the family's doing well. And let's get to opening this wine first before we go any farther with anything else, because, wow, I'm looking forward to trying this other item with the wine and the beer. It should be interesting to see how this pairs up. So let's go ahead and open the wine. See, well, look, we're 18 minutes in. I'm just now opening the wine. Actually, we're not quite 18 minutes. We had a 5-minute countdown there. So let me get my mechanical corkscrew. There we go. So we can uncork, or as I like to say, decork the wine. Nobody's called me out for saying that yet. They know it's all in fun, I hope. But it's, there we go. So, long cork there. All right, here you go. Bill, hold that for me, will you? He's waiting there for his turn later on. All right, so we got, yes, Roadkill Bill is a star of the show. And, yeah, he's kind of the real star of the show, right? All right, so we got this aerator in place, and we're going to, to hold the grape nectar, I have my genuine Galway Irish crystal glass given to me by my employers at bytwowayradios.com. It's genuine Irish crystal glass. I'm going to pour just a little bit in there for starters. And, of course, to hold the grape nectar in the glass, I have my genuine official Drink with Rick coaster. And you can check episode 205 or any of the previous episodes along that timeline to find out how you can get a free pair of these. And we will, yeah, I know, because it takes so much time to repeat that every single week. I've got a little promo for it, but I should just play it, during the show every time. But I think everybody get tired of that too. I know I am. Okay, so let me go ahead and give. Oh yeah, we need some swirl music, and I'm still looking for some swirl music. But in the meantime, let's go with the cowbell. Seems to work. There we go. Yeah, we can get a really good swirl with cowbell. More cowbell. Yeah. Okay, it's enough swirling for now. We'll let it open up and breathe a little bit. Oh, I can smell the aromas from here right now. We will. Let me get back to the chest for just a moment and see who is watching. We've got folks watching in there. Jump in the chat. Say hi. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me what you're drinking or what you'd like to see me drinking. And if I can afford to buy a bottle of it, I'll see if I can buy one and give it a fair and honest review and drink it along with you. Yeah. All right, so this is opening up. So let's take some time out to learn a little bit more about this wine. Now, this Tempranillo from Spain, I found it I found it at Trader Joe's, of course. I've been finding a lot of my wines on Trader Joe's recently, as I like to shop there. And I found a couple other things at Trader Joe's we're going to try tonight as well. This is kind of a Trader Joe's review night, I guess you could say. But let's take a look at the wine itself. This is the Bodegas Valabera Javier San Pedro Randez. I believe that's what it's called. Is it? Yeah. Yes. Produced by Bodegas Valabera. So, as I mentioned a few moments ago. All right, so this wine is a Rioja. It's Tempranillo, and I like a good Tempranillo, as opposed to bad Tempranillos or mediocre Tempranillos. Let's see if this is a good Tempranillo. I checked around online. There's some information on it. It's kind of, some good mixed ratings on it. Vivino has a rating of 3.6 out of 5 stars based on all the vintages of it. And I'm not really sure what the 2020, this is the 2020 vintage. and I'm not really sure what they have to say about that, but it seems to get some fairly decent reviews. Not great, but fairly decent. But we're going to try this ourselves. Yeah, the price wise, looking around here for pricing. I'm trying to find out right near. They're saying $8.99, a medium, starting around $8.99. I checked on Wine Searcher, and as a matter of fact, I'm on Wine Searcher right now. Average price is about $10, and Wine Searcher has a 4 out of 10 user ratings. 84 out of 100 from 6 critic reviews. That's what they have there on their site. And they have it listed in San Ramon, Spain for $12.49 a bottle, including 21% sales tax. Yes, 21% sales tax. Wow. That's a lot of tax. And we pay too much tax here in the States, too. I don't know, but that 21% sales tax, wow. Okay. I'll tell you what I paid for it, because I purchased it at Trader Joe's, and I have the receipt right here. I paid for the 750 milliliter bottle of Javier San Pedro wine. I paid, where is it? There it is at the top. $7.99. So I paid $7.99 for this, and it's right here on the receipt. $7.99. See, there you go. $7.99. This is, yeah, it says Trader Joe's. This is the actual receipt. I kid you not. So that's what this is about. So let me go ahead and check the chats one more time, and then we'll get to the tasting. All right, everyone's waiting for the taste. Bruce says, drinking an Oktoberfest from Trophy Brewing here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've seen that beer from Trophy Brewing, I believe. They've got, well, it's hard to tell the difference between a lot of different breweries have their own Oktoberfest brew, of course. And this is the season for it, but I'm not ready to do the Oktoberfest beers until October. So we have a few more weeks before I start tasting the Oktoberfest beers. I had the opportunity to get some pumpkin beers as well, but I want to kind of wait till the end of September, till the end of summer anyway, to start doing the Oktoberfest beers. But hey, all the more power to you there, brew. Drink whatever you want, and that's great. And how is that Oktoberfest beer? How is it? And let me know. Put your own review in there. I'll be happy to read that, and I'll see if maybe I'll see if I can pick up one of those. Trophy Brewing. Yes. Let me make a note of that so I don't forget. There we go. Trophy Brewing, Oktoberfest. Got it. Right here. And the beer that we're going to do tonight is going to be very interesting, I think. It's also a local beer. It's also from a local craft beer brewery. And I don't mean local in North Carolina per se, but local in Charlotte. I have been to some of the beer places and whatever in Raleigh, and there's some great places in Raleigh to drink for beer. There is that beer row, that alehouse row there that they've got that is very interesting. I enjoy that. What was it? Oh yes, I was going to taste this wine, wasn't I? Let me check the other chats. Okay, we're good. All right, let me give it a whiff. Yeah. Cherry and raspberry. A lot of red fruit in this beer. And a little bit of oak. Well, let's give it a taste. Now there's a mix of red and black fruit in here. I'm tasting some cherry. I'm tasting some blackberry, and I'm smelling raspberry, but I'm not really getting in the taste. Let me see. There's a little bit of raspberry in there now. Kind of oaky, but it's fairly tannic. A lot of tannins in this wine, which is not unexpected for Tempranillo, so which is good because I've got some things I want to pair it with that I think really need the tannins. That's why I picked this wine out. I had a choice for tonight to choose from this Tempranillo or a Cab or a Bordeaux. As a matter of fact, a gentleman at Trader Joe's recommended a Bordeaux for these chips, but I had already tasted that Bordeaux, and it was decent. It was good Bordeaux, but I wanted to try a new wine to go with these chips. And to be honest, I'd say that this Tempranillo is more tannic than the Bordeaux that I had that he recommended last week. So I think this is probably a better choice for it. Just guessing, but I think it probably is. Let me pour a little bit more. All right, there we go. All right, so we've got the food here. Let me go ahead and clear the palate just a little bit. All right, clear the throat too. All right, so we've got the tasting tonight, and we've got the pairing. And let's try to pair it with the burger. I think this should work out pretty well. The burger, we're gonna, because the tannin. Oh, actually, this is. Yep. Wait a minute. Is this burger or is this? No. Tastes more like meatball. But it's all beef. I have another one. All right, pretty good. My wife will tell me one way or another. Is this? She's not in the chat. She's probably doing something more interested in watching me. She watches me all day. All right, let's try this out. Okay, not bad. Although it gives the beef a little bit of a musky smell, or taste, I should say, not a smell, but a little hint of a musky taste to it at one point, and I'm not sure what that is all about. A little bit. I don't think it has anything to do with Elon Musk. Okay. A musty. Anyway, let me go back to this other. Let me go ahead and clear the palate. And by the way, if you don't really get the humor in this show, it's okay. Sometimes I don't either. All right, let's go back to camera 3. Cleared the palate there, and let's try it with this is the unexpected cheddar with parm, and with the tannins in here, I think this should probably be okay. Good cheese, by the way. Okay, that's nice. Now, it really brings out the cheese flavor, and then the flavor of the wine kind of really sort of takes a back seat to the cheese. The cheese kind of it adds more flavor to the whole thing than the wine does. The wine just sort of accentuates it a little bit, but it's really all about the cheese in that mouthful. So, not bad. And clear the palate one more time. Probably have to open another bottle of water here. There we go. Yeah, it was kind of interesting with that kind of a musky taste to the burger a little bit with the wine. We're gonna clear the palate, and we're gonna try it one more thing. We're gonna try it with this puto. I mean, to be honest, this is just for fun. I don't really expect, because this is a rice cake. This is a rice cake, and I don't know that I would pair it with this. This is something that would probably pair more with a white wine. But we're gonna try it. Why not? It's called puto. A great rice cake. And by the way, you can put cheese on it. Sometimes they put cheddar cheese on it. Not much of that. It's not what I wasn't expecting much from it anyway. That was all right. It's a rice cake with wine. Not bad. I mean, it's just not. It wouldn't be my first choice of a pairing. Pair something with this red wine. Interesting. I think if there was some cheddar cheese on it, that would make a big difference. But you can put all kinds of toppings and things like that on there, and sometimes that's what my wife does. So, and it's good. The rice cake's good. It goes great with coffee, as a matter of fact, in the morning. Put it with coffee in the morning, it's fine. Or tea in the afternoon. You can have those with tea, a nice hot tea. So I think that does it for the pairing for the most part, but I think we've got one more pairing to do, and we're going to do that in just a few minutes. But let me get to the chats first before we really get into this show, because I've been waiting to open that bag. I have. So let me see what we've got here. I've got one more. Oh, no. All right. I think I've got everything on the agenda, right? All right, good. All right, so let's go on to this. Let's go on to this bag that I'm going to open. Let me show you what I have to pair it with. And I think this will pair okay with the tannins. The wine's okay. The wine's decent. And I'm going to let it open up a little bit more. And I like Tempranillos. And it's not too tannic. There's a fair amount of tannins. And it's not overly bold. It's not super bold or anything. Kind of, a little medium bold. It's little medium to, it's, I guess it's still kind of medium bodied. But this is a very dry wine. Not surprisingly, that's what a Tempranillo is. It's not bad, but I'm going to let it open up a little bit, because I would say that it's not the best Tempranillo I've ever had, but it's not the worst. It's kind of okay so far. As Tempranillos go, I'm getting a little bit of hot chocolate in it now. Maybe that was because of the puto in there. I don't know, but getting the oak, and it does have a little bit of earthy taste or smell to it. It has a little earthy smell. I'm not really tasting so much earth right now, but it does has an earthy aroma to it. All right, so it's very fruity. It's a very fruity wine, by the way. So a mix of cherry, raspberry, some blackberry in there. It's a good mix of fruits, red and black fruits all together. Okay, so let's get to this other pairing. Where's my drum roll? Okay, I want to make sure I have that ready, because this is what I've got tonight. Let me pull up the picture, the photo. Do I have the photo up? Yes, I do. Yes. Ghost pepper chips. These are Trader Joe's ghost pepper potato chips. These are lattice cut potato chips. They're kettle cooked, so they say. And this is sort of like potato chip crack, if you know what I mean. I really, seriously, I have become addicted. My daughter and I have both become addicted to these chips. I don't know what they're putting in them, but they are really, really good. So we're going to open it up. We're going to try it with this wine, and we're going to try it with the beer that we're going to open up as well. This should be very, very interesting. This comes from Trader Joe's. Now, I don't want to oversell this ghost pepper thing, okay? What I've seen and heard about ghost pepper chips and things like that, those things are incredibly hot. I kind of stay away from the really, really hot stuff, which is, I think, another reason why I like these, because they're not super hot. Now, here's the thing. This whole ghost pepper thing, this is marketing. This is one, let me put it here. This is 100% marketing. Ghost pepper potato chips. They're spicy, to be sure. They're spicy, but they're not like ghost pepper hot. They're not ghost pepper spicy. However, I have found that as they get farther down into the bag, the spicier they get. It's kind of like the wine. How I tell you, like you can't really get the flavor of the wine. You don't know what the wine is really about until you get down into the bottle. It's the same thing here with the chips. And I think I know why now. My lovely wife, Chi, has possibly found the answer to this. Bruce says, those chips are very good. Always grab a bag or two when we are there. Yeah, I agree with you. These things are very addictive, and you can eat a whole, I could eat a whole bag if my wife would let me, and if my daughter would let me, because we share T and I share the bag, and I don't want to take them all from her. We share them. But yeah, we went through. The thing about these chips, though, is that they fly off the shelf really quick. So, Brew, you are correct. They are good. But I'll tell you something about these chips. Okay, once again, they're not ghost pepper hot, okay? And here's the, whoops, that's not it. There's the photo. They're not ghost pepper hot. So if you're worried about having those single chips with the ghost pepper effect on it, when you eat that one chip and you have to have a 16-ounce glass of milk ready or something to kind of cut the heat and that sort of thing, this is not like that at all. It's not like this at all. You don't have to call the fire department on these, okay? Seriously. They're kind of spicy. They're not that hot. But what they are they're really, really good. Now, there are some people, I've seen some reviews online where some people, they don't like it. They can't stand the chips. They don't like them. And I think it's because they go in with a lot of people go in with the misconception that when it says ghost pepper chips on it, that it's going to be super spicy hot, like that one single ghost pepper chip that you get in the one bag for the ghost pepper chip challenge, that sort of thing. And then they're really disappointed when they open the bag and find out, well, that's not it. Well, no, this is kind of a ghost pepper potato chip for the masses. It's not for those people who can take that kind of spiciness. This is kind of toned down for the masses, for the general public, and that can't handle that kind of thing. Now, my stomach can't really handle the ghost pepper chip stuff, but I really like these. So I think they got it. I think they got the recipe just right here. But once again, you can't go in here thinking that this is ghost pepper. I think this is kind of a. I have to agree with some folks online that say ghost pepper. They're really, really mismarketing this. And I kind of have to agree that when it comes to ghost pepper chips, people have it in their minds that this is that super, super, super hot chip. And that's not what it is. So, I don't know. Trader Joe's, if you're watching or listening, you might want to maybe kind of, put some kind of explainer on there. I wouldn't say disclaimer because it's not ghost pepper. I'd say more of an explainer saying, hey, this isn't really that. But here, nevertheless, we're going to open this bag. And before I do, let me explain to you what I've run into. When I open this bag, typically I get the spiciness of the chip a little bit. And it's not that hot. And as a matter of fact, I opened a bag for my bosses over there at Bite to Wear Radios the other day and say, here, try this. And I think she was trying some of the chips at first, and she says, oh, this isn't spicy at all. And then she got down into the bowl a little bit and said, oh, yeah, it's starting to hit. That's because I opened it from the top. So what she told me today, she went in there today and bought 3 more bags of them. Yeah, seriously. I bought 5 bags the other day, and one of them was specifically for the show. This bag was just reserved for the show tonight. Another bag was to take to work, and the other 3 bags were for T and me to eat. But she bought 3 more bags today, and I'll tell you why she did that, why I bought 5 bags later. I think it might be self-evident as we go along. But she was in there today, and she said she was talking to the clerk there, and the clerk passed along a very interesting tip about the chips. She said, if you really want to experience the chip, don't open the bag from the top. Open it from the bottom. And the reason is because as it gets, it makes total sense, as it gets jostled around, gets shipped around and all this kind of stuff, all the stuff, the flavorings and everything else that makes this chip flavorful and spicy and hot, they go down to the bottom of the bag. So when you open the bag, the top chips are not all that spicy. When you get down to the bottom of the bag, and I've experienced this myself, they get spicier, but you just get the little crumbs of the chips because they're all broken up in the bottom. Because, for one thing, it's because there's lattice-style chips. So what you want to do is turn it upside down and open it from the bottom of the bag. And I thought, wow, that's a nice tip. Let's try it out. So we're going to try it out and see if this works. Now I've opened a lot of bags of these, so I know what they taste like on the top. Let's find out what it tastes like from the bottom of the bag. So we got the bag open. I love these chips. I'm telling you, these are like these are very addictive. So this is what it looks like in a bag of chips. And yeah, it's 7 ounces of chips. So you got a bag of chips here. And about half the bag is air. All right, that's half the bag right there. But now that we've got the bag open, and Brew, he says the chips are very good. Always grab a bag or 2 when we are there. Yes, and so do we. And I think that's why she grabbed 3, because lots of times we go there and they're completely out and they're not expecting a shipment for a few days because they fly off the shelves. They do. They'll get a shipment in the morning, and by the evening they're all gone. All these chips are gone. It's like I've never seen anything like that for potato chips. I can go to the store for potato chips and I see potato chips that are always stocked. But we go into Trader Joe's and you can go in the morning and you can see these things stacked, way up high. And then you go out there that later on that evening or the next morning, and they're all gone. So let's go ahead and try one of these. I'm going to try this nice big chip right here. This was one on the bottom, the very bottom. I'm going to give it a try. Nice and crunchy. There's some ASMR for you. Those of you who listen to the show for ASMR. They are crunchy. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think they're a little bit spicier. They are spicier on the bottom. Definitely. I do not get this effect from opening the top of the bag. The bottom, though, she is correct. So to whoever made that suggestion at Trader Joe's, I want to say thank you very much for that suggestion. Very, very good suggestion. Oh wow. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's try some water first. All right, there we go. Wow. Okay. They're not ghost pepper hot. But they're very, very spicy. They are very spicy, and they are definitely spicier and hotter on the bottom than they are at the top. Now, of course, once you've opened the bottom of the bag and you let it sit a little bit, if, of course, you have some chips left to sit in the bag after you're done with them, because I'm telling you, if you like these kind of chips, you will go through this bag pretty quickly. And if you do that, maybe in a day or so, all the spiciness will go back down to the top of the bag. There you go. Let's try it. Now we're going to pair it with some wine, because this is what I wanted to try. I wanted to try, because there's some tannin in here, and as the gentleman at Trader Joe's, the clerk there, I said, what wine do you think would go good with these ghost pepper chips? And he said Bordeaux. And I said, well, I've already tried that Bordeaux. He says, well, how about a Cabernet Sauvignon? And I said, I've got a Tempranillo here. So I'm going to try it with the Tempranillo. So let's do that, because Tempranillo has a fair amount of tannin. Let's try it with this chip. Wow. These chips are so good. Hey, I like that. I like it so much I'm going to have another one. Wow. That's not bad at all. Yeah. Spicy. And yes, the Tempranillo, I think, okay, I like it. I could have some, I just sit here and eat this whole bag through the show. You just hear me crunching throughout the show here. Oh, that's good. I like that. I need to put the chips aside for a minute, because we're going to pair it with something else here in just a few minutes. We'll see. Yeah, Brute, you're absolutely correct. This is it's good stuff. Good stuff. It is hotter. It is hotter, and it is spicier when you open it from the bottom of the bag. And yes, I'm starting to feel that now. Yeah. Yeah, the water does help a little bit. It doesn't exactly put out the fire, but it helps. It's good. It's not a fire, really. It's just really spicy. That's all. Not bad. Not bad. I would say I really like these chips. I think they're.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. So let me tell you what we also got. Bruce says gonna have to try opening from the bottom. You've got to try it. I think you'll like it. Opening from the bottom. That's a good tip. I don't know why it took me so long. I never figured it out. Why it took me so long to figure it out. I didn't figure it out at all. I was told this. I don't know why I didn't figure it out before. Bruce says, I'll be the first one in line tomorrow morning out front of Trader Joe's for a bag of them. Yeah. We've got a few bags now, but that's why we do go get several bags when we go there to Trader Joe's, because they run out of them so fast. And you know what, to be honest, that's probably why they go so fast, because I'm pretty sure it's like the toilet paper fiasco of 2020, where everybody says, I got to stock up on toilet paper, and before you know it, there's no toilet paper for miles around. I think it's the same thing with these chips, pretty much. Although I would say if you eat enough of these chips, you're going to need to go make a run for some toilet paper. Yeah, well, yeah, I was late on the rim shot. So anyway, yeah, they're that good. They really are good. I say if you eat enough of them, though, they'll kind of mess up a little bit. I'm pretty sure, just a little bit. If you know what I mean, and I think you do. All right, so I have one more thing that we're going to open up and try to pair with these chips, but this one isn't a wine. Let me show the other thing that we have tonight. Because, well, you know what? Let's wait on that first because we have to do let me follow the itinerary. See, I'm not even following our own itinerary here. Before we do the beer, I was supposed to do this before I opened the chips. Let's toast the national days. We're going to toast the national days first. And let me find my national day thing. Okay, toasts for the that's last week's. Oh, where's the national days for this week? That was last week's national days. Darn. Here we go. There we go, the wine background. That's more like it. Last week was a glitchy week. Not as many glitches this week, I hope, but still. I gotta take off the hat anyway because I'm getting sweaty. The chips are starting to make me a little sweaty here. Not that they're that hot, but yeah. From the bottom of the bag, I think it's not. I think that's a better option. All right, so we've got September 9th today. Today's September 9th, 2023 for another hour and 7 minutes. September 9th for the national days. And by the way, these are all courtesy of nationaldaycalendar.com. That's Marlo Anderson's site. He's the CEO of National Day Calendar. I haven't had that much wine yet. nationaldaycalendar.com. And he is the curator of all these national days. So thank you, Marlo. So September 9th is National Wiener Schnitzel Day. I do not have any Wiener Schnitzel music for it, but I do have some. Here you go. I've got some clapping. That'll work. Here's the National Wiener Schnitzel Day. I'll drink to that. It's also really, there's a day for everything. There's no Drink with Rick Day, though. I not yet. I need to talk to Marlo about that. Okay, today is also National, wait for it, Care Bears Share Your Care Day.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It's National Care Bears Share Your Care Day. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to put it down. I mean, a lot of people like the Care Bears. It's okay. It's not like they're the Charmin Bears, right? I think I've seen more of the Charmin Bears than the Care Bears. I've watched a little bit of the Care Bears when I was younger, just enough to know that I didn't really care too much for those bears. But the Charmin Bears, you can't get away from them. They're an already Charmin commercial, and it's we're not talking about the Charmin Bears, are we? We're talking about the Care Bears, National Care Bears Share Your Care Day. Okay, I'll drink to that. Why not? We've got to drink to something. We might as well drink to that. So let's drink to Care Bears Share Your Care Day. I'll drink to that. Not that I really care, but I care. I care about everybody. I care about everything. I care about the Care Bears. Do I care about that?
No.
All right. Today is also, now I care about this more. Not much more, but more. September 9th is National Teddy Bear Day. Yes, September 9th is National Teddy Bear Day. And we need a Drink with Rick Day. But until then, we've got the National Teddy Bear Day. And I will drink to that. Sure. Why not? Man, it gets in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot to do it. I didn't do it the right way, did I? I didn't do it correctly. Here's a National Teddy Bear Day. Okay. Teddy bears get their own day. Goodness. We need a drink with Rick Day. No, we don't. We don't need a drink. No, we don't need a drink.
No.
All right. Let's toast some national days for September 10th, because it's going to be September 10th in an hour and 2 minutes. Before we do that, let me check the chats one more time. I don't want to neglect the chats here at all. I get in trouble for neglecting the chats. I don't like doing that. All right, so September 10th, 2023 is National Swap Ideas Day. That's the Monday following Labor Day. Wait a minute. September 10th is Sunday. Share your ideas day, isn't it? Yeah, it's Sunday. So why are we doing this on September 10th today? National Swap Ideas Day is a Monday following Labor Day. I'll have to ask Marlo about that one. All right, so okay, whatever. National Swap Ideas Day. I have an idea to swap with Marlo. Why don't we have a drink with Rick Day? Okay, it's National Pet Memorial Day, the second Sunday in September. Okay, that's more like it. The second Sunday in September. National Pet Memorial Day. I will drink to that. I have I don't think I have it queued up at all, but we have a memorial pet to a pet. Do I have it queued up at all? Let me see. I don't know. I don't think so. No, I don't. But we can, let me see if I can put a quick photo up there. This is for, if I can find my photos. Where did I just do my photos? All right. I don't want to stop the show for this, but oh, those are the ghost pepper chips. Let's see if I've got a memorial photo here anywhere for Pet Memorial Day. Yes, I do. I have one right here. There's one. In memorial for our dog Cosmo, who passed away about 2 years ago now. It'll be 2 years ago in October, I believe, or November. It's all been kind of a blur. So here's to Cosmo, Pet Memorial Day. I will drink to that. I will drink to Pet Memorial Day. It's the Pet Memorial Day. Speaking of dogs, it's also another dog day. And this one I had photos for right here. What did I just do with them? Here we go. It is National Hug Your Hound Day. Yes, that's right. The second Sunday in September is National Hug Your Hound Day. And in honor of Hug Your Hound Day, here's a photo of our current dogs, our current hounds. And they're not hounds, actually. They're cavapoos. On the left is, that's before their haircut. They look a lot cleaner now because they've had a haircut since then. But this is just after we first got them. On the left is Nico, Cavapoo, and on the right is Ember. So Nico's the boy, the male cockapoo, and Ember's the female cockapoo. They have been spayed and neutered. So we're not expecting little cavapoos from that, but they are sweet dogs nonetheless. Very, very affectionate dogs. Anyway, here is to National Hug Your Hound Day. I'll drink to that. It's also National Grandparents' Day. And I want to say that my grandparents on my mother's side, I knew a lot better than the ones on my father's side, although I knew them all at one point. But I would say that I appreciate my grandparents, and I miss my grandparents. Here's to National Grandparents' Day. I'll drink to that. It's also, one more national day, it's also, I need a drum roll for this, where is it? It's also National TV Dinner Day. Yes, it's National TV Dinner Day. And in honor of National TV Dinner Day, this is what my lovely wife, she made for the presentation. She made a TV dinner. And this is, let me see from the, if I can get a shot here from the side view. But she made a TV dinner in a tray. There's a tray made out of carrot. This is all edible, by the way. She made a TV dinner tray out of carrot. She has a little cocktail to go with it. I don't know what's in there, but it looks like a Bloody Mary. It kind of looks like a Bloody Mary to go with the. That's what it kind of looks like. It looks like a celery stalk in there. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's not a Bloody Mary. Maybe something else. But she did this really nice. I don't know what else is in there. I think it's, I don't know what those white things are. It might be, she made a nice TV dinner there. It looks like some rice and some sausage or some steak or sausages or something. And it looks like some broccoli or beans or something, some beans and all kinds of stuff in there. And it's in this carrot tray and little dividers made out of plum. I think those little dividers are made out of plum. Anyway, nonetheless, it's an amazing presentation, and I want to give my lovely wife Chi some applause for that, because she did a fantastic job on that. She did a fabulous job on that. Amazing as always, as she always does. Anyway, thank you to my lovely wife Chi for that wonderful presentation. And of course, here is to National TV Dinner Day. I'll drink to that. National TV Dinner Day. Okay, I think that does it for the national days. And once again, this is what we're drinking. We're drinking the Javier San Pedro Randes Tempranillo 2020. It's a Rioja from Spain. And it's 13.5% ABV. And for some reason, I'm starting to feel it just a little bit. So I'm gonna ease up. And I haven't had much of it. That's the weird thing. The weird thing is, look at that. I have not had much of this at all. Maybe it's just fatigue for me tonight. Maybe it's these pepper chips, these ghost pepper chips. I don't know. But I have one more thing to open up tonight to try and review. We're going to do it right now. All right, let me get, we are on the camera, the first camera. Okay, so here's what we got. Let me pull up the photo for it. If I can find out what I did with my photos again. I need to organize that a little bit better one of these days. Okay, so here's what we've got. This is what I've got tonight to pair. I wanted this specifically to pair with the ghost pepper chips. This is called Birdsong Jalepeno Pale Ale. This is a pale ale from the Birdsong Brewing Company in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a local craft brewery in Charlotte. I've had their beers before. They do specialize in some pale ales. This is a jalapeno pale ale. I'm not absolutely sure if this is an APA or an IPA, if it's an India Pale Ale or if it's an American Pale Ale. I think this might be American Pale Ale. We'll find out. But it looks pretty interesting. And let me show you the back. Well, it's not the back. It's actually the side of the beer. If I can find my photos again, there we go. This is the side of it. I'm going to read this Well, I'll read it in a minute because I can't read it right off because I don't even have it out yet. Okay, this is the beer, and I have it. I've been chilling it for the last hour and a half. I've been chilling it in the official Drink with Rick ice bucket. That's right. We've got it in the official Drink with Rick ice bucket with some ice. And yes, it's nice and cold now. It is nice and cold. Excellent. Perfect. So this is what the Birdsong Brewing Company Jalepeno Pale Ale looks like. Now let's go back and look at the back of this again. So I'm going to read the back. No, not the government warning side. That's on the other side. This is not actually the back. This is actually the side of it. It's 1 pint, 5.5% ABV. Is it spicy? That's what it says. Is it spicy? Our Jalepeno Pale Ale is in a class of its own. We start by brewing Free Will Pale Ale and then add in a hefty dose of fresh-picked jalapeno peppers with the seeds removed, so you can enjoy a subtle flavor and the aroma of the green peppers without the heat. Well, that was very considerate of them. It is brewed and canned by Birdsong Brewing Company in Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's what that's all about. So I tell you what, we're going to quieten the chats right now. Here, let's see what we got going on. Oh, Ed just got here. Ed, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here today, my friend, and I appreciate your. You missed the chip? You missed the ghost pepper chips, but you didn't really miss them. I don't know what camera I'm on anymore. By the way, it's good to see you here, Ed. You missed the opening of the bag of the ghost pepper chips, but you didn't miss the pairing with this beer, because we're going to pair it with this beer as soon as we open up and try it out. So that's what we're going to do. Let me go back camera one. There we go. So I have my beer mug here. How are you doing, by the way, Ed? I hope you're having a great weekend. Hope you had a great week. We're going to go ahead and open this beer, and we're going to pour a little bit. We're going to pour it in the glass. I'm just going to pour the whole thing in the glass, I think, most of it, and give it a nice head on it. There we go. It's a nice little head on it. Okay. Looks nice and clear, kind of a honey, not really honey, it's more of a light color, not really a dark amber or anything like that. It's a light, it's a color of a pale ale. Now, here's the thing, and I've, people would ask, what's the difference between, because I mentioned an American Pale Ale and an India Pale Ale, and what's the difference between the two? Well, the India Pale Ale uses English hops, and oftentimes I think there's another type of Pale Ale they refer to as an English Pale Ale. It's pretty close to that. The American Pale Ales are made with American hops. Now the difference there is that, as a general rule, the IPAs, the India Pale Ales, are going to be higher in alcohol, higher alcohol content, usually about 6.5 or 7% alcohol, than the American Pale Ales. So they run closer to around 5%. And as I mentioned before, this is 5.5, so that's about in the range of an APA. So I think this is really probably closer to an APA. I don't know yet, but the APAs will have a kind of a more citrusy flavor, and they're really more on the malt side, whereas the IPAs are really they're a lot hoppier. So you're not going to get as much of the hops in the American Pale Ales as you will in the India Pale Ales. So let's give this a whiff here. Wow, that's interesting. There's a mix of flavors in there. It smells kind of citrusy, so this may be an American Pale. Let me pull it up. You know what? I pulled up their site. I didn't really look through it, but Birdsong's site, they have a bunch of different beers. The Jalepeno Pale Ale, let me click on that. Let's see what's got it here. They've got on this. Okay. This is what they say on, that's their higher ground one. That's a different one. Jalapeno one, okay. It's in a class of its own. Okay, that's basically the same thing I read on the side of the So two row caramel 20-liter Victory red wheat in the malts. The hops are Columbus, Galena, Willamette. So fresh hand-cut jalapeno peppers. They put this in here. So that's very interesting. Let me see if I can pull up any more information on this. For just a moment. I think I had another site there. There's a site called Beer Connoisseur, and they give a judge's rating of 76, I guess, out of 100. And I'm just assuming. I don't know. I've just looked at it, and yeah, according to this, it looks like it's. Looks like they like it okay. Nothing really to write home about, but they like it okay. Well, I don't want to go through all the judges' notes because I don't really. I want to judge this for myself from an everyman perspective, not from a beer judge. Let's give it a little whiff. Yeah, it smells a little like there's jalapeno in it. But it smells kind of fruity. All right, let's get. I don't have one of my coasters on here. Let me put a coaster in. There we go. That helps. We get a taste. Well, that didn't go well, did it? Oh, okay. Let's try that again. Yeah, you can feel free to clip that. By the way, sometimes they just make errors just so they can be clipped. Actually, that's my rationalization for making errors. Sometimes I just make errors because I make errors. Actually, just about all the time I make errors because I make errors. All right, let me give this a taste. Hoppy. Yeah, it's definitely peppery. And definitely I can taste some jalapeno in here. It does have a jalapeno taste to it. It's not very strong there. I expected it to be stronger than it was in the first taste. I thought it was going to be really, really, really spicy. It's really not that spicy. There's a tinge of spiciness at the back and the very end. There is a bit of that. But it's not. It's kind of like these ghost pepper chips. It's not like they're super hot or anything like that. This beer is not hot and spicy per se. In other words, it's not going to have you running for the water or for the 16-ounce glass of milk or something. Not like these ghost pepper. No, these ghost pepper chips won't do it either. But it is a little spicy. Spicier on the second taste. Now, this is interesting. I get the hops, fairly hoppy, and it's just a little bit. It kind of tingles in the end too, because it has that kind of spicy tingliness to it. I'm not sure how to describe it really. It has a spicy tingliness to it at the end, which is very interesting. I'm glad they removed the seeds. I'll say that much. definitely glad that they removed the seeds on this one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I can't say this is a beer I would drink a lot of. I can't say that I would go out and have like 2 or 3 of these, but it's an interesting beer to taste for the first time. Not bad, actually not bad at all. Not bad for a first taste. I'd say that it's okay. It's okay, but here's the real test. This is what I wanted to try it with before. I wanted to try tasting it with the ghost pepper chip and see how this pairs with the ghost pepper chips. So we have one here. I'm going to grab one of the ghost pepper chips. and we're going to taste it with beer. If I can get it in my mouth. These things, I can't get it in my mouth. I don't want to waste these chips either. They're good. They're expensive. Tasty. Oh. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's a little bit of spice in it. Okay, I can do another one of those. Let me try that again. That's not bad, actually, with the beer. Yeah. Ghost pepper chips and the jalapeno beer. Not a bad combination at all. Try that again. Oh yeah, I could say that this would work pretty well. They'd work pretty well together. Okay, I like it. I could do it. I could go with this. I got to put these away, or I'm gonna wind up eating my whole bag. I don't want to do that. But and Ed, if you just got here and you missed the first part, let me show you what we've got here. What this is. This is the. If I can pull the photo up again. What do I do with them? Here we go. These are Trader Joe's Ghost Pepper Potato Chips, kettle cut. I mean, kettle cooked. Boy, I guess this is starting to affect me. Kettle cooked, lattice cut potato chips. And these things are they're not ghost pepper hot, as in like the single ghost pepper chip that you'd get and you'd have to do the ghost pepper chip challenge or something. They are spicy, but they're not super hot. They're actually pretty good. And these are, let me pull a whole one out here. I'll hold up the camera. They're lattice cut, so it's kind of in a, it's not totally flat, and you see it has a lattice shape to it and little holes in it. They're pretty good, actually. These things are really, really easy to eat, and they're available at Trader Joe's. I forgot to tell you what the price was because I got the receipt here for it. At Trader Joe's, I paid, here in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the Ghost Pepper Potato Chip, I paid $17.45. Actually, yeah, that was for 5 bags. Okay, that wasn't for one bag of chips. It's not one bag of chips. $17.45 is for 5 bags of chips, which came out to $3.49 a bag. $3.49 a bag. So that's how much that cost. $3.49. Is that what you're paying for, Brew? Is that what you pay for them in your area? $3.49. I think it's probably fairly consistent, right? And for the beer, I forgot to mention the beer. Do I have it on here? I think I had it on here, don't I? No, maybe it's on this one. It might be on this receipt. What I paid for the beer. All right, it's on this one. For the Birdsong Jalepeno Pale Ale, I paid $2.50. $2.50 for this 16-ounce can of beer. So that's $2.50. But it's worth trying for $2.50. I think it's worth trying, and I think it's worth trying with the chips. This is not something I'd buy a whole lot of. It's okay. And I like the jalapeno taste in it, but once again, the taste of the jalapeno is not that strong. It's kind of there. It's not really strong. So if you like the taste of jalapenos, it's a nice little additive for the beer. But if you're not really into jalapeno peppers, if you don't really like that, it does have kind of a peppery taste to it. So if you don't like that in your beer, then you're not going to like this beer. So I'd say choose something else. If you like another pale ale or something, go with that. But if you like that jalapeno taste, it's okay. But once again, it's not super strong. I don't want to oversell this beer like I've oversold these chips, because these chips are good. It's hard to oversell these chips. These things are that good. But Ed, if you manage it, if you got a Trader Joe's in your area and you want to try this beer with the chips, I think they're a really good pairing. And if you want to try the ghost pepper chips, potato chips, if you get them in your area, it's exclusively Trader Joe's. This is a Trader Joe's brand. But if you can, the tip is, and that I mentioned earlier in the show, the tip is don't open it from the top of the bag. If you really want the taste, the hot, spicy taste of the potato chips, open it from the bottom of the bag. That does work. And once again, I want to thank my lovely wife Chi and the great person at Trader Joe's who suggested that, who made that suggestion. It was a really, really excellent suggestion, and I would say they get all in one for that.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wow, that's a good one.
So, thank you very much. Bruce says, yeah, I think that is spot on. So that's what you're paying for them there at your Trader Joe's? All right. It says tastes better with a coaster. Yeah, it does. It does taste better with a coaster, especially if it's a official Drink with Rick coaster. Remove both stems and seeds. Yes. And I'm glad they did remove the stems and the seeds from this beer. It's okay. I like beer anyway, so I'm not. And Ed knows. I know Ed likes beer. We've shared many a beer together in the past, in years gone by. We've shared many a beer together in good times. Good times. All right, so I think that's just I have one more thing on the agenda. There's one more thing on the agenda. I was going to make a special toast to a friend of mine who had a birthday yesterday. His birthday was yesterday. If you've been watching the Winestream for any particular length of time, and I know Ed, you're aware of who this is, or you will be in a moment. He's been in a number of our films in the early days, and he was part of our film crew, our film club, and that sort of thing. He was in our high school film club, and he passed away a few years ago from cancer, from I believe it was from pancreatic cancer. It was really, really sad because he was he was a great guy. He was a sweet, great guy. And I've got a little tribute for him, but yesterday was his birthday. He would have been, as of yesterday, September 8th, he would have been 63 years old, pretty close to my age, because we were in the same class in school. I want to do a short tribute to him. I think some of you may have seen it. I think I ran it earlier in the year, but I'd like to show it again as a tribute to him and give a memorial toast to his birthday. And this is for my good friend Doug Torta. And I've got I don't have that queued up either, do I? Here we go. I've got it queued up now. So this is for my good friend Doug Torta, who would have been 63 yesterday. This is a tribute to Doug Torta.
Hi, I'm Hillary Meister. Welcome to Filmmakers. Tonight my guest is Doug Torta, who's originally from Jacksonville and has lived in Orlando for about 12 years. Doug works as a bank supervisor here in Orlando, and he's been involved with films for about, 6 years?
About 6 years.
What got you interested in films?
Well, some of my friends in high school, we just got together and decided, one of us bought a camera and we just started using it as best we could. And we found a sponsor in high school and formed a club called the Lake Howell Film Club. And for the most part, it was touch and go, learn as we went. And we tried to do everything we could.
How long did the club go on in the school?
Well, we started it when we were juniors. So I went through junior and senior years of high school. It was mostly after school. We didn't get any class time or anything like that. Some of the people in the club were in the audiovisual section, so we got some help from the audiovisual department. But for the most part, it was using our own equipment and learning as we went.
Do you know if the club is still in existence today?
The club still exists at the school, but we don't really know anything as to what's going on with it.
About how many films would you say that you and the club made?
Altogether, during the 2 years, we made about 6 or 7 films that I can recall. It's been about 4.5, 5 years ago now since I was last.
Announcing a new and exciting product from Rico. It's the Kathy Kitchen Food Pulverizer. This tool is the perfect gift and has over 1,000 uses. It pummels vegetables, fruits, and even as thick as steaks into a disgusting mass that is guaranteed to be absolutely revolting to all members of the family or your money back. The pulverizer can also be a children's toy. Look at the fun he's having. And of course, the pulverizer has many other uses. It can be used as a solicitor deterrent, a toilet fixer, riot starters and stoppers, a paraglooper repair tool, a TV repair tool. It can be used for medicinal purposes, garbage trashers. It even has the U.S. Motorcycle Gang seal of approval for its most popular use, a lethal weapon. To get yours, send $21.95 to Pulverizer in care of this station.
Did you find you were making more films and studying at that time?
No, not really. Well, all of us were more interested in school than just films, but towards the end of the senior year, the films were becoming very important because none of us wanted to do anything as far as school was concerned.
How did it affect the rest of the school?
Well, a lot of the school didn't even know about us until our second or third film. And then we got some support from the school, and we had a few nights where we showed films in the school auditorium. But for the most part, everybody that knew about us was real excited about the work we were doing.
Did you get class credit or anything like that?
We had this junior year, I can't remember which year it was for sure, they did have a class for filmmakers, and we did get credit for half a semester. So that was an added benefit to it. It worked out well.
Do you feel that film should probably be introduced a lot more into high schools than it is?
I think it's important as far as film and video, because as the world changes more and more to getting our information from those areas, it's very important that they know how it is produced and what to look for to know whether or not you're really watching a quality program or not.
I'm Sergeant Joe Smith of the Fraud Division. Recently, there has been a rash of fraudulent activities involving the citizens of this area, especially the elderly. The only way to curb this is by informing the people of this area, and we have the solution. It's this book entitled How to Recognize Fraud. It illustrates to the average citizens what to look for when dealing with fraud. To get your copy, send $24.95 to Sergeant Joe Smith, P.O. Box 1332, Sav City, Florida. Thank you.
Around the Pool in 80 Laps was our first attempt at still animation where we moved people instead of little dolls or pictures. And it was quite interesting. We got to do pretty much what we wanted as we went along. And we learned quite a bit about animation using still frame and slow motion and that type of thing. It was a great learning experience.
That was the first film as pixelation category.
Right. It was one of the very first films we did out also, and it was quite a learning experience.
How long did it take you to film it?
As I recall, it took about 3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks, and it's about a 4-minute film?
Right. But mostly our problems for time were because of trying to get the same light, in the afternoon, and school also, and of course the infamous summer rains caused us problems where we had to stop. But it was quite interesting. We got to do quite a few things and some interesting special effects. And we all enjoyed it a great deal and learned a lot.
How many people did you have actually running the camera that weren't in the film?
Well, there was only 2 cameramen, as I recall. I can't remember for sure. But it was very few cameramen. It was mostly a lot of us moving things around.
One camera?
Yeah, we learned to use rulers very well, moving things along.
What other films have you made?
Well, I also made another movie, which was called News at 6. I don't know if y'all are going to present that at any time, but it was a actual acting, and it was also one of those productions for class, and that was the most exciting of all the films that I worked on, because you actually got to act in it, and it wasn't little pieces of paper you were moving or that type of thing. It was very interesting, and we tried a lot of puns that no one figured out, but it was worthwhile also.
Barry Bumbler here. Behind me is new Kaputsk nuclear power plant, built just this year. We thought we'd bring our camera crews out here to show you what a nuclear power plant is all about. We're going to conduct an interview with plant director, Professor Willard Crompton. This is Professor Willard Crompton. Tell me, Mr. Crompton, how can a small city like Kaputsk, Wyoming, with a population of only 250, get a $4.3 billion nuclear power plant?
Have you ever tried to change census record?
Well, let me ask you something, Professor. Since we can't go inside for security reasons, why don't you just tell us all about the nuclear power plant?
Well, for a first thing, this is the fuel that we use, uranium-235. You're right for backing away. It is very dangerous, but I'll put it back in my pocket where it's very safe.
Okay, that makes sense.
And next I'll go on with the building here. Just in case we do have an accident, to protect the building from anything that may happen to it, we have this small box right over here that has valves in it. And if we do have an accident, we can open these valves and let the radiation go out into nature where it can be taken care of by nature, and the building will stay in perfect condition.
Oh, that's very good.
You may have also noticed the cracks in the building that make it look something like a hand grenade. And that is, how a hand grenade blows apart with the squares. Well, same basic idea, so that, if there is an explosion and we do try to go inside, the pressure has been let out by falling parts of buildings.
I see.
Right,
Yes, that's very good. Tell me, Professor, what about the road being so close to this nuclear power plant? Isn't there some chance of a car or a truck or anything running into the building and causing an accident?
We never noticed that before. I didn't know it was there.
Tell me, Professor, has the building met all federal safety standards?
Yes, it has met all the standards with flying colors, gone beyond what they say must be done. Absolutely nothing can go wrong with this piece of building. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Nothing can go wrong.
That's very good, Professor. Well, there you have it. This is Barry Bumbler signing.
Now a word from our sponsor.
Hi. Have you ever had trouble with your car? Have you ever wished you could make it disappear? Well, this man does. His car has stalled out on him for the last time. He's about to use an amazing new product called Spray Away. Just aim, spray, and the problem disappears forever. Having problems with your kids? Well, just one application of Spray Away and the problem is gone, well, forever. Get new Spray Away at finer stores everywhere.
And now for the sports. Today's scores are 4-1, 37-9, 3-6, 0-0, 37-8, 486-0, and Crompton wins 12 under par. Can you believe that, sports fans? And now for some filmed highlights of yesterday's game. Look at that pass. Unbelievable. Too bad you didn't get to see the game. Tomorrow's scores tonight at 11.
Well, thanks, Doug, for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for
And
putting
I
up
hope
with me.
all your projects turn into more film projects than video. So until next week, we'll see you later.
Okay, that was is actually a segment from our filmmaker show that we produced in ran from 1982 to 1984, I believe, or 1981 and 1984, something along those lines. It ran for 2 or 3 years, and we would showcase local filmmakers in the area and some of their films. And Doug was in one of our episodes showing off some of the films that we made and as a group. And it was hosted by Hilary Meister. The first 6 episodes were hosted by Hilary Meister, and then it was later on hosted by Jim Lee, who was president of our club, film club for a while. So that was what that show was about, the video. Anyway, for Doug, I want to say to my good friend Doug Torta, no, that's not what I want. Oh, goodness. I left everything up from last week, didn't I? All right. Let me see what's more appropriate. I think, let me find a more appropriate, I think that's more appropriate. Anyway, from my good friend Doug Torta, who's no longer with us, but whose birthday was yesterday, I want to say happy birthday. To my friend Doug Torta, we miss you. And, well, you're a great guy. Doug was a great guy. Anyway, so I don't know. I'm at a loss for words at times like that, because he was a good friend, and even though I hadn't seen him for a while before he passed away, I had often wanted to see him, to go visit with him again, and I feel bad because I didn't get a chance to do that before he passed, but I miss him, because I always thought of him as a really, really good friend, and I miss him. To Doug. Anyway, so I think that does it for the show this week. I think that we've got it about wrapped up here. If everybody's still with us, South City. No, it's Sav City. It's Sav, S-A-V, Sav City. Sav City Fire. Yeah, that's what Ed was mentioning, that it was a send-up of Savoya City, my last name. Yeah, this was a gag that the other guys working on News at 6 came up with, and it became a running gag through the whole film. And we've done it. We've used it in other films, short films that we made as well. It just became kind of a running joke, and one of those little inside jokes. It's kind of like here's another little inside joke. Ed is probably aware of this one, but as well. But some of the other guys in there that worked on Space Apes from Minus Planet Alpha. If you've seen Space Apes from Minus Planet Alpha, and by the way, we're going to show that in segments. We're going to show it in its entirety during an episode of the show, but that won't be till the end of the year. We're going to do that at the end of the year. up to now, we've shown it twice in the after show. So if you've been fortunate enough to stick around for the after show, you've seen the film. And this was our first and only feature film in Super 8. But I'm going to show it in segments during a special episode of Drink with Rick towards the holidays. So that's the plan anyway. And by the way, I have another thing I want to throw out at you to see if you like this idea, and get a poll going to find out if you like the idea for this. Because I know a lot of folks have liked to watch the show or the films that I show during the show, a lot of the films that we do. I wanted to try a few other things along those lines for the show. And one of those items is to run a couple of old films, public domain films, particular sci-fi films, and more particularly serials. I'd love to take some of the old serials like the Flash Gordon and things like that, and run an episode or a segment of an episode in every episode of Drink with Rick. Just do a segment, like a 5-10 minute segment where we just run an episode, and we can do some commentary doing it, and we can, kind of almost Mystery Science Theater 3000 style. I love Mystery Science Theater 3000 and that sort of thing. I don't want to bash it, per se, but I'd like to take some of those serials and kind of analyze them a little bit and just talk about them. We can talk about them during the segments. I think it'd be kind of fun to do that. So I want to know what you think. Would you like to see some of that? Some of these old films, some of these old movies, sci-fi films, in particular, because I'm a sci-fi fan, what can I say? But in particular, some of the old serials, the TV and the movie serials, like that, like some of the, like the Flash Gordons and things like that. Do an episode, run one of them every week with the show, and then just comment on it, and let me know what you think, because I can get those. These are public domain films, so they're fine to show. They're fine to show, but I would have to buy some in a pristine shape to be able to show it on the show. I want to get something that's decent quality. I don't want to just show stuff that you can't really see much of. Get something that's a decent quality, and we can show it on the show and run a segment every week. And let me know what you think. If you like that idea, let me know. Email me, rick@savoymedia.com, rick@savoymedia.com, or just go to drinkwithrick.com and leave your comments to me there in the form there, in the comments form. Just let me know, and because I want to make a call on this real soon, because I'd like to start running this still in season 5, but during the October, November area, part of the season. And that's coming up real quick, so let me know. I think it would be a lot of fun personally, but let me know if that's something that you'd like to see, because you are part of the show. You make the show, so I don't want to sit there and just show stuff that you're not going to want to see. But if you think you might find this fun, and we can sit there in the chats and talk about it, or you can make fun of it, whatever you want to do, it's fine. I think it would be kind of cool to do while we're drinking along with it and eating and whatever. The little inside joke that I was going to mention about space apes from Ice Planet Alpha. Okay, there's a scene in there at the very beginning of the film. I'm going to let you know about this now. There's a scene in the beginning of the film where we show off the spaceship, the actual spaceship. It's a model of the spaceship. And this spaceship, there is a little Easter egg in that scene where the person actually names, one of the characters, Jeff, actually names the spaceship, actually calls it what we called it, what we call it behind the scenes. And I didn't give him credit for this, but Pete Gibbeser, he and Eric Solomon built that model. and they actually built it for something else we were going to do. We wound up using it. We didn't use it for that, but we wanted to use it for something because they spent all that time and all that work making this model spaceship that we had intended to shoot for a film. And what we did was we said, well, let's use it in Space Apes. So we built the whole film around this spaceship. And that's why a lot of the film, if you notice, because of the ice ship, they're trying to build this ice ship from this based on the spaceship. A lot of the film it's actually, in a sense, one of the characters in the film, the model ship. And behind the scenes, we called it the electronic dog, because we were, Pete was putting it together and painting it, and Eric was there. I came back to look at it, and he says, it kind of reminds me of a dog, electronic dog. And the name just stuck. And so that's what we called it. We called it that spaceship we called it the electronic dog. So in the film, there is a short scene where the character Jeff picks up the spaceship, and I ask him, I said, do you have a mold that looks like this? And he goes, no, he goes, Michael has one that looks like a dog. And that was the reference. It was supposed to be we were doing a little inside joke about the electronic dog. So I didn't expect anybody to get that joke, but people laugh at it for different reasons. I was like, oh yeah, a spaceship looks like a dog, yeah. But that was the actual inside joke. So I still have it. I actually still have the electronic dog, and it is in its original box that we actually showed where he took it out of the box in Space Apes, in the scene where he was going to carve an image of it out of the block of ice. I actually still have it in that original box, because that was the actual box that we stored it in. So one of these days I should bring it up here and show it off. It's in a little bit of disrepair, but it's still there. Anyway, so I went along on that. Just want to share that with you, because I like to share things with you. All right, and Ed says, I feel similarly about Scott Campbell. Yeah, and Scott, who also passed away, a mutual friend of Ed's and mine, Scott Campbell, who made a film called, he made a couple films, but he made one called Dracula Goes to College that I really would kind of like to see if I can get a copy of sometime. But Scott passed away not very long ago, and that was sad news to hear as well. I think we got, what else we got going on here? Okay, let me just check the chats here one more time. All right, I think we're good for tonight. I think it's just about time to close up. Yes, it is. I want to thank everybody here for being with me here tonight. I've got to close up these chips. I'm going to eat this whole bag. Seriously. Here's the final review of the wine. This is what we were drinking tonight. The Javier San Pedro Randez. It's a 2020 Tempranillo Rioja from Spain. It has cherry and blackberry, and it's a mix of red and black fruits, a little bit of raspberry, and it is a little bit oaky. I stopped drinking it here to drink the beer, so but it's actually, the last sip I had of it, it was okay. Fair amount of tannin in this wine, which is why we tried it with the chips. There's a fair amount of tannin, and it was 13.5% ABV. I can't say that I'd buy another bottle of it per se, but I do like I really like Tempranillos, but this one, it's okay. It's okay. This is something I'd give like 3 stars, maybe 3.5 stars on. It's okay, but it's not my favorite Tempranillo. It's all right, but it did go really well with. It did go really well with the cheese. The burger, it was okay on. It had kind of an interesting taste too for the burger, but the cheese I liked it with. And I mean the puto, which is the over there in the corner. Puto is the Filipino rice cake that my lovely wife she made. It's one of her specialties. And I think if the puto had some cheddar cheese on it, it probably would have gone great with the wine. But as it was kind of, it was all right. It was okay. On the other hand, the chips that we tried it with were really, it went really well with the ghost pepper chips. I like that with the ghost pepper chips. And I think that a lot of it has to do with the tannins in the wine. I think it went pretty well with the chips on that. And yes, I'm holding it from the bottom. And if you want to know why I'm holding it from the bottom of the bag, you have to rewind to the beginning of the show to find out. There's a good reason for it. It was not an error. It was done intentionally. The beer, on the other hand, the Birdsong beer, where is that? Do I still have it up here? Let's see, the photos. No, those are the ghost pepper chips. Okay, those are the ghost pepper chips. I didn't need to hold that up then. The beer, that's in the same photo list. There we go. This is the Birdsong Brewing Company Jalepeno Pale Ale. Okay, the beer kind of grew on me a little bit during the when I was showing the film segment, the video. It grew on me a little bit. These went great with the chips. They were really complemented the chips well. I really liked it. The jalapeno taste, the peppers, they were there. They're not real strong, but they were there. A little bit of spiciness on the back of the tongue or the sides of the tongue as an aftertaste. As it went down, there was a little bit of spiciness on either side of the tongue. But overall, it's not a really spicy beer. Don't go buying this beer expecting it to be hot jalapeno peppers. That's not what this is. It has a little bit of jalapeno taste to it. It's a little bit citrus. It's actually a little citrusy here. This has a little bit of citrusy taste to it, but it's not. And it has some hops. It's not overly hoppy, but and if you like a lot of hops, you'll probably be disappointed in this wine. The beer, excuse me. You'll be disappointed in the beer. You might be disappointed in the wine too. But it's not a bad beer. This is not something that I would buy a 4-pack or 6-pack of. But I'm going to finish this because it's beer and it's not bad. And it's still not bad. I would serve it cold though. I wouldn't serve this beer warm. Okay, some people can't drink a beer unless it's cold, ice cold. Beer meant to be had warm. And you know what? It's kind of a cultural thing because you can have some places they prefer their beers warm and some they prefer cold. Here in the States, in America, people prefer their beers cold for the most part. I like a cold beer, but I also like a fairly, it kind of depends on the beer. I can drink a warm beer. I don't care. Well, I kind of do care, but not that. Yeah, well, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, right. But, really. I don't know how to turn this thing off. Oh, yeah, I turned it off. How about that? Oh, wow, I found a way to turn this thing off. Amazing. Tommy Antio's in the chat, by the way. Tommy Antio says, how's the wine? The wine, I just gave a review of the wine. You missed it. You missed it all. You got to rewind to find out. Rewind to find out. But look, I want to thank everybody for being here with me tonight. I do appreciate each and every one of you. My final review of the wine, it's okay. The beer, it's okay. The chips, they're okay. Yeah, I like the chips. So I highly recommend the chips. Okay, so that's what I have for tonight. Next week, And by the way, please email me, rick@savoymedia.com, and tell me what you think. By the way, Brew, please get your email address, or your shipping address in there so I can send you that book. No, I haven't forgotten. There are a couple of people there are several people that have been in the chats the last few weeks. I've tried to give away these books, and they like, okay, and then I never hear from them again. So I can't send you, if you win a book, if you win anything, I can't send it to you if you don't send me your address. I need to be able to do that to send it to you. So send it over. It's okay. Yeah, your call. It's cool. It's whatever. But I want to give this stuff away. I love to give stuff away. I really do. And some people would say I would give away. My boss says I would give everything away if I could. And that's not true, but he's not too far from the truth. I'd give away the farm if I had one, but I don't. So there you go. Fortunately for us. Anyway. Anyway, thanks for being here tonight. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And right now, it is time for me to bring out your friend and mine, Roadkill Bill. It is that time of the night tonight. Here he is, Roadkill Bill. And Bruce 243 says, going to send it over now. Great. Excellent. Thank you. And Roadkill Bill has a very special message for you. He says... Well, he doesn't say anything. He squeaks. I make him squeak. It's because he's just a shoot-up dog toy. What can I say? You're not supposed to know that. Okay. Anyway, he's the official mascot of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Winestream. And Roadkill Bill says, well, actually, I say it. Please do not drink and drive. Drink in the comfort of your home, your office, your hotel room, your motel room, your... wherever you are, just stay there. If you have to go somewhere. If you have to go home, go somewhere else. Call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a cab, call a friend who hasn't been drinking, who's legal to drive. Or you could call a bus. Oh, you can't call a bus. Take a bus if you can, if there's one running in your area. If there's not, just stay put. Because that's the safest thing to do. Don't put yourself or others in danger. And don't text and drive either. That's extremely dangerous. It is. Because I want you to have a safe week. But most of all, I want you to have... Wait a minute, I said that wrong, didn't I? Oh, that was my glitch for the night. Okay. Look, I want you to have a great week. But most of all, I want you to have a safe week. So you can join me here again next week on the Saturday Night Winestream, and we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.